Alright, well, let's play a little more Get to the Orange Door. I've been enjoying it, and people have been enjoying watching it, so figured why not keep playing it. Plus, Bippin isn't available today, so we'll play something else. LMG? I don't know. This is too good of a start. I kind of don't want to start with the best weapon in the game, although it doesn't have a lot of ammo, so... We are also starting with frags. I suppose we can go with it. I mean, we did get it in coin flips, so why not? Something weird I've noticed with the newer version of GTTOD is that they really toned down the free running. Really? I don't really think they did. I think they made it actually kind of better. It's a lot easier now, and it's a lot better, and it's a lot more smooth. Although I don't really think they changed too much with it. It's still not a good strategy to be on the ground for a long period of time. I don't think it's ever going to be a good strategy with how this game is designed. Not too far back, the maps were a lot more compact to take full advantage of it. Oh, that's because, fuck. Yeah, that's because the, you used to have to actually sprint. And then they removed sprinting and stuff like that. They also upped player speed, which meant the maps had to get larger. So the parkour hasn't really changed, it's gotten bigger. Gotten longer. God, this gun is a big bird. Man, I love this gun. Shame it's like super powerful. Oh, I don't have a second weapon, so I can't change it. Or I can't do the YY thing. Honestly, bigger doesn't equal better in my opinion. I hope he at least does some cityscape style maps to get back that feeling. I mean, the reason that they made it bigger is because you were so much faster, which meant you traverse the environment so much quicker. You were either, like, hitting walls all the time in the old maps with the new movement speed, or they just didn't feel as open as they needed to be. You know, as soon as you change something as fundamental as the speed the player moves at, you kind of have to change everything else to suit it. Because otherwise you're just going to get kind of really shoddy maps. They didn't make it bigger just to make it bigger. They made it bigger so that your movement matched the speed. Or your movement matched the terrain you were traversing. Let's see. Jam ammo pack. I want a secondary weapon right now. Who the fuck made the MG42 burst? It's not burst. I'm firing it in bursts. Because, you know, full autoing doesn't really make a lot of sense. There we go. Yeah, I do want another weapon, actually, so I can start doing the YY reload. Because having to do the rest of the animation is painful. Yeah, I think the bigger maps are fine. They leave things a lot more open. It's not like it takes a long time to traverse the map or anything. Yeet! I'm still not a big fan of how the melee weapons break. I think that's a really superfluous mechanic, personally. Really, like, not necessary in the slightest. Kind of just inconvenient. Come on, reload. Yeet. Okay, I should stop pissing about here, actually. I'm just so, I just love the arenas. I love actually playing the game, you know? Who needs to move on and do other combat when you can just sit in the same arena for half an hour? Also, yeah, I did start streaming pretty late today. Later than usual. Because, and I didn't stream yesterday for a good reason, because I was actually pretty ill, I guess? I say I guess, because I don't really know. I just had a really bad migraine, and I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to stream today. I really should say, if I'm not streaming. Really fucked. And I was thinking, maybe I won't stream today either. But then I was like, you know what, I think I can play GTTOD. I think I'm fine with that. I did want to play Strive, but Biffin wasn't available. And I was going to ask Speedy if they wanted to play Phasmophobia. But then I figured, you know what, Phasmophobia might not be the best thing to kind of just drop on Speedy. Because I thought, you know, since their mic has a lot of noise and it might be very unfun to play for them if I don't give them a heads up that they're going to have to mute their microphone every time they want to hide from the ghost in that game. So I thought, you know what, let's just play GTTOD and we'll try another day. How's the audio, by the way? Can I be heard pretty well? The game looks a little bit loud. A little bit. I did change some settings with my voice, like I usually do. Wasn't a lot of settings. I actually kind of just moved the compressor up. I read an article about audio design, and it was like, hey, if you're using a compressor, it should be one of the first things, one of the first filters you put on, as opposed to one of the last. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's the problem I'm having with it. Maybe I'm just putting it too late in the chain. Oh yeah, I also changed the open and close on my my what's it called? Close threshold. Noise gate, that's what it's called. So I might get cut off a little bit at the start of some words. Usually it comes with when I start words with like fire. Fire. No, it seems to catch the entire thing. You know, usually the F in fire is soft enough to not get immediately picked up. I didn't get the inventory upgrade. I'm sad. I really need a Dead Man's Hand, I think. I don't, that's not what it's called. The wings one, the one that gives you a faster reload speed. This isn't the weapon I was hoping for, but it's fine enough. Actually, honestly, shotguns in this game are actually pretty powerful. Also, thankfully, you can fire immediately off of reloading. I hate it when games don't allow you to do that. Mainly games that are like really fast-paced. They usually forget, like, oh wait, we should maybe make it so you can actually fire immediately after reloading. Ugh. This is one way to get a free inventory upgrade. I'm so glad you can use the, what's it called? The time stop as kind of just like a, I want to get this over with button. So it's like if I want to get the inventory upgrade for free and like really quickly without having to bothering, I can just activate time stop and skadookie them. Yeah, I might actually be streaming some Phasmophobia soon. Over the next few days. We'll see. I think that would be fun. It recently got quite a big update where they changed a lot of the items and redid a lot of things. Plus, I never really did play it all that much originally when we first started streaming it. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 streams of Phasmophobia. Anything to do with the maps? I mean, there's new maps. And the maps got a lighting overhaul and stuff like that. One of the biggest things that got changed in the new Phasmophobia update is that the hunts are now a lot more dangerous. You know, when the ghost decides to start killing people. You know how your light used to flicker all the time in that game, whenever a hunt started, no matter where you were. Now, your light only flickers when the ghost is really close to you, while it's hunting. So you could be across the map and you would never know if a hunt was going on. Because your light isn't flickering anymore. So, you know, it kind of adds a lot of suspense, where you're like, oh my god. What if I don't know if there's a hunt going on? You could be running over to where the ghost is, or where the ghost room is, and suddenly your light starts flickering and you're like, holy shit. The ghost is actually hunting and I didn't know about it. It adds a second of panic. Yeah, it's a really fun game. I'll probably be streaming it a bit. I'm not sure how interested people are in watching Phasmophobia. I know people are interested in watching GTTOD, which is why I've been doing a lot of it, so... It's kind of funny because something I've noticed nowadays is... Excuse me while I clear my nose a little bit. Yeah, something I've noticed nowadays is that used to be pretty common back then, like 5 or 6 years ago in YouTube, but isn't very common now, is like just gameplay. Now it's all like edited videos, you know, topical videos, videos with subjects, stuff like that, you know, like what the new item does in Phasmophobia, what's in the new update for GTTOD, you know? All the videos are specifically topics. There's not a lot of just raw playing the game anymore. And I've kind of been like, you know what, I can fit a lot of that niche where I can just upload gameplay and that's it. And that's what I do for stuff like Strive, because it's really hard to find just raw gameplay for Strive. Usually it's all like clipped matches or some sort of theme, again, some specific topic. But there isn't a lot of just like people playing matches. Maybe it's because people are just not interested in it. Maybe that's why it's not here anymore. That type of content. But there are still people interested. Hello, take my gun. Take it! God, this gun. The Thunderlust is actually just insane. It is a winning run gun. This is why I almost wanted to reset the run as soon as we got the LMG at the start. Because I was like, dude, this is literally like the best weapon in the game. If we start with it, we're just going to have the easiest run of all time. I don't know why I'm always so worried about maintaining my combo. Because it's so easy to get back to that 64 times multiplier. I think it's only killing 5 enemies. Which really isn't that bad. It's not like it's really that hard to kill 5 enemies. Really quickly. In fact, it's kind of the standard. I also do know I have to use my my super a lot more than I do. I don't use it because, I've neglected not using it because of, you know, too good to use syndrome. What I do, the Thunderlust, it's just like, well, what it does is it does a ton of damage, has 300 rounds in the magazine, and it also causes lightning to strike down on the opponent, or I guess who you're shooting at, which again just makes it do even more damage. So SMG, I'll buy an SMG because the SMG is actually like really good. Yeah, the Thunderlust is just like an instant win gun. It sits rightfully at like the #1 slot in the game. I would say like what the best gun in this game is does vary. Like, you know, I would argue the Predator, the SMG, the PDW, all of those guns are really damn good. And then, of course, there's the Thunderlust, which kind of is just better than all of them. And it gets even better when you have an ammo pack. Equipment, because then you just get 300 rounds for every single pack you do, which, you know, that's literally like infinite ammo. Quite literally infinite ammo. So if you want one dedicated way to win this game, just get the Thunderlust and an ammo pack. You will go as far as your grubby little hands will take you. I'm almost not going to use the Thunderlust in a little while so that we can start using some other guns. Because, man, this is going to get boring if all you hear for the entire stream is just this sound. You know? I also think a really good strategy is, instead of hoarding up guns... Oh my god. We got, fire rate up. Rapid fire. I literally only need to click on enemies and they die. Are you seeing how strong this thing is? Yeah, I think a better strategy for this game, if you want to go far, is actually babying a weapon early, as opposed to grabbing tons of weapons. Ooh, carbine! I actually do really like the carbine. I think, it's better babed than a lot of people say it is. From what I've seen, anyway. Although I think most people kind of agree that basically every automatic weapon is really good babed. Except for, like, the silenced SMG or whatever. That thing is kind of dookie. God, what a bop this theme is. I'm not sure how interested you would be, or most people would be, in solo Phasmophobia stuff. Especially considering I would be very, technical with it. You know, it's not the type of game where I go in and be like, oh, I'm so spooked. I'm the type of person who would go in and be like, how do we optimize this? How do we get faster? How do we get, more solid results? You know? How do we bring the game down to a science, you know? What's the tech? You know, what can we, can I get to the ghost faster by doing this? Can I, is this a really good strategy? Etc. You know what I mean? Less atmospheric, more... we're earning money. Phase kit. I've never really used the phase kit all that much. And by that, I mean basically none. I don't really think the phase kit's that good. But again, I haven't really used it that much. Look at speedrunning Phasmophobia. I definitely wouldn't be speedrunning it, but yeah. I would be aiming to, because, you know, the faster you are, the less chance the ghost has of killing you. But I also, it's not like I would be that good anyway. Because I do tend to have problems in that game. Where, like, I have a really hard time finding the ghost room sometimes. There was one run I did today, earlier on, where I was using the new paramic to try and find the ghost room. I thought I had found it. I was actually getting really consistent results from the paramic, you know. It was telling me, yeah, this is where the ghost is. But then I found out about, like, 5 minutes later, after I'd already set everything up, being like, okay, this is where the ghost is. Time to, you know, time to put all the items down to get the evidence. But I did that, and then I suddenly realized the audio results I was getting from the paramic were actually for a room below the one I was in the basement. Instead. So I had spent, like, most of my time in the hunt in not the ghost room, trying to get the ghost to do stuff. And at that point, the ghost was so angry because, you know, the hunt had been going on, or the hunt? No, what is it called? I guess the mission. The mission had been going on for so long that the ghost, right area, wrong location. Kind of, yeah. You know, I was a floor above where I should have been, and I didn't realize until it was too late. And what I mean by too late was the ghost was then hunting me every 30 seconds. And I had to be like, you know what, I kind of just gotta dip, you know? Revolver, hey! The ghost was being so aggressive at that point that I couldn't really do anything. So I just kind of dealt with my losses and left. But yes, that's kind of like a general idea of the problems I have when I'm playing that game is I usually can't find the ghost room that well. And even when I do, I have a really hard time getting the ghost to actually interact with me. Let me just turning it down a little bit. The gunshots are really loud. Yeah, even if I do find the ghost room, I have a really hard time getting the ghost to actually do stuff. So, you know, I'll be sitting there with all the evidence items I need, the fingerprint stuff, the audio scanner, the book, everything that can show me what the evidence is, and I'll be using them, and the ghost will just not cooperate with me. And I'll have no idea what to do. So I'm not really that good at Phasmophobia. I'm past the part where I'm scared by the game. Or at least, you know, outside of a hunt. You know, I can walk around the house just fine and stuff like that. But of course, you know, as soon as the ghost starts hunting, then you're kind of like, oh shit, get out of there. You panic. Let's do this. Oh, hang on, this uses the same ammo? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh god, the screen shake on this is so maddening. Aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Strive. I've mostly been practicing Jacko, since she just came out for Strive, and she's been really fun. I haven't been playing a lot of matches. I've kind of just been practicing. Yeet. I know this is also going to sound bad to say, but I was kind of a little cheesed at the end of the last Strive stream. And I don't mean cheesed as in, like I like to preface this by saying, like, don't have anything against Speedy or Bippin. But, you know, that stream I did have that's when my migraine started to come on, the one that eventually got worse the next day and I couldn't stream. Or decided not to stream because of it. But, you know, I was getting a migraine, and, you know, it's a fighting game, tensions rise and stuff like that. We get kind of a little bit annoyed at each other. And, Speedy went with the usual joke that they would normally do, where, you know, it's like, oh, you complain about this move when it hits you, but then you don't complain about it when you hit it with someone else. You know, like bias, basically just complaining about bias. And I know it was a joke. They were saying it, but the way they were saying it made it sound like half genuine. And I know there's, like, usually there's a little bit of a genuine little bit of a genuine statement behind a lot of jokes. So I could really feel that they were somewhat feeling that, even if they were joking with it. And that, like, you actually might even be able to notice it in that stream for anyone who does decide to watch the Strive streams. But there was one point where they made that joke, and I kind of just didn't even reply. I kind of just said, yeah. And that's kind of one of the moments where I was like, I don't really feel like fighting back. Again, no, it's not like I'm saying, oh, no hard feelings or anything. It's just at that specific time I was kind of just like, I'm kind of a bit tired of it, but I'm not going to say anything because, it would kind of soil the mood a lot. A little bit more than it was already being soiled. And again, I say that even though the mood wasn't even really that soiled. I'm not saying we were like tilted off the face of the earth. But you should know what I mean. Didn't want to push buttons when I didn't have to. So I just didn't. So after that, I've been kind of like, I don't know if I feel like I want to do another Strive stream at the moment. A little bit, a tiny bit. I've kind of felt like that a little bit. Just until like my migraine goes away and I could properly kind of be in the right mood for that. It's not like Strive's going away. Strive obviously isn't going to go away anytime soon. I mean, we're still going to be playing it until, like... Honestly, you should watch yourself, because we're going to be playing that game until, like, the end of next year. I probably guarantee it. It's going to be here for a while. Because we just really love playing it. It's such a fun game. And it's getting constant new content, and... Oh, I should really actually... I'm making a big oopsie here. I should turn off of blue mode. Knife? Knife. Oh fuck, really? I'm already out of ammo? I think we need to get a bunch of heavy ammo. Oh, this is the map that really chugs my frame rate when I'm playing. This map is maybe a bit too big for its own good. I also didn't get the health or the equipment upgrade. Ew, we got the sticky detonator. Yikes. And if you're wondering why yikes, because it's freaking horrible. You've heard pretty good things about this game. It is a very damn good game. And also, the stream looks choppy right now. It's because the this map in particular is a little bit unoptimized. So the stream will look a little bit framey. But once we get into the next stage, it should be fine. Yeah, this is a very good game. Oh, I clipped through the wall. Very nice. It's very fun, very stylistically beautiful. It's just great. I actually made a, or actually posted a Steam review for this game. Since the developer was also asking, like, hey, can you give good reviews for the game if you like it, because he kind of needs it. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'll give you a good review. I like to review games anyway. And in my review, I actually stated that I've seen a lot of games do this art style, this kind of neon, tron-y, cyberpunk-y 80s art style. Like there's other games like Desync that have done it, etc. But none of them have done it as well as this game, I would say. Since this game actually does a little bit more with the visuals, then we may as well get this actually. Yeah, but this game does a lot more with the visuals than a lot of the other games do. A lot of the other games doing this type of 80s Tron style tend to just do it and then kind of leave it there, you know? Like, oh, we got the visuals down. We don't need to do anything more. But I like how this game actually does a lot more with it. It has a lot more nice lighting, a lot more gradients, a lot more detail. There's a lot more ambiance compared to a lot of those other games. This game has a unique ambience that even games of a similar visual style don't really hit. And again, I also love this arena here, so I'm going to be playing in it for a little bit. Reload, come on, be quick. Please, be quick. There we go. It feels like the Thunderlord hitches a little bit when you first start firing it. On the first few shots in your magazine. Kinda stutters, you know? I also like getting better at this game as well. Usually, I don't really get a lot better at these types of games. But this one I do feel like I get better in, because the movement is kind of hard to pin down. So when you do manage to actually get the movement down really nicely, it just feels really good. How much money do we have? We have so much money. Okay, we don't need to farm here. We can move on. I'm really sad that the only power weapon you can get is the BFG right now. I really thought that we were going to be able to get the other power weapons like the flamethrower and the compound bow and stuff, but it really just seems like you can't. It's quite unfortunate. Oh, what is this? Stim, who cares? Again, the Thunderlust kind of just makes this super easy. Okay, I think I might say it. I think the Thunderlord is the best, or sorry, the Thunderlust. I think the Thunderlust is actually the best weapon in the game. I don't think there's a better weapon in the game than the Thunderlust. I think it is by far the best weapon. Treachery, who cares? Predator even, honestly, who cares? I do love the Predator, and I have like a really big bias towards it. But the Thunderlord is kind of just better. The SMG is also really good. It's one of those weapons you think that wouldn't be that good, but it is super good. Oh, I'm not gonna make that jump. Fuck. I'm so used to having the laser wire to correct my mistakes. I just make random leaps of faith. Ah, fuck. Yeah, see what I mean? Once you have the movement down, this game is just, oh. It's just a mega coom. I'm glad that this game takes what Titanfall does with its movement, the advanced mobility and the wall running and the clambering and stuff like that. It does everything that Titanfall does, but it actually does it better, I would say. Mainly because you're in single player and like the maps are like really, really dense arenas. So you can a lot more free flow, just spiral across maps. You know, Titanfall still goes with the tried and true kind of arena three-lane multiplayer maps, with a lot of stuff in between to really kind of help edge it out. Yeah, the movement just works so much better in this game. And it works really well in Titanfall. So it working better in this game is just icing on the cake. I think last stream when I was doing pretty poorly, I think it was just me being kind of garbage. Auto pistol, welcome back. I did just get rid of you, but you know. Grapple wire. Oh, I've got an annoying itchy nose, but it's not like an itchy like nose you can actually itch. You know what I mean? It's in like the back, way in the back, at the roof of my mouth, or I guess above my mouth in that case. So it's really irritating. I can't actually itch it with anything. I kind of just have to hope. Let's go to the Stocky Danator. The Stuki. And get the bolt action instead. I'm also not the biggest fan of the, do we have? Oh, we don't. Not the biggest fan of the bolt action either. What you laughing at? You just give me a good weapon. Oh, did I not activate? Oh, I didn't. Also, once you get the grapple hook though, the world is your oyster. You can just do whatever the hell you want, and it's so fun. I'm the cop who can't be stopped. Sorry, sir. I request that you perish. John Fortnite! It's him! Mr. Fortnite! Actually, I think my nose might be bleeding. No, it's not. It is. It's like my nose is like really cold on the inside. What's going on? You okay, sinuses? You having a hard time? Oh, let me take a drink just in case. Compact shotty. What is that gun? I want that gun. Whatever that gun that just happened. God, these animations are so nice. You give me that. I actually am going to go and build a babe this. Build a bang. Thank you. That's super shorty. Honestly, I think the biggest problem with the shotguns when you babe them is that you still have to reload one shell at a time. When I really wish it would make you reload 2 shells at a time instead. Not that every weapon is supposed to be balanced with each other. It can get a bit monotonous when games really try to balance themselves so aggressively. I guess this is a topic to go on. You're not really going to have a reference for it if you haven't played it. But if you have played Dragon Ball FighterZ, for example, fighting game, and if you haven't, don't worry, I'll explain it. Every character in that game is actually considered to be one of the most balanced fighting games. Where, you know, it's at the point now where there's not even anything below A tier. You know, there's A tier, A+, S+. Like, the characters are so balanced that you can pick literally anyone and you will do just fine. Some characters do other things better. Obviously, that's why there's tier lists, and that's why they have discrepancies. But there is such a little gap between them now that it's just super duper balanced. And you may think, oh, that's good. That's nice. You know, a properly balanced game. But it came at the cost of every character plays basically identically. Like, they all have the same formula. They all have, like, similar moves. They don't really differentiate in power that much. They all are basically the same character with a slightly different template of moves. So they've managed to create some really good balance, but as a result of that, no one really stands out, you know? Play one character, you kind of played them all. Aside from like a few gimmicks here and there, and I'm not saying you don't have to adjust your game plan for every character, because you do. You still have to adjust your game plan, you still have to work around them, their assists and stuff like that. But it's a hell of a lot more than you might think for a game with like 40 characters in its roster. And I wish developers would not necessarily stop doing that, but I wish they would stop chasing that. You know, it's like the American dream, you know? It's kind of just something that you see in the sky. You know what I mean? Like, you daydream for it. It's like, oh, I strive for the perfect balance in my game. We should try and get the game perfectly balanced, but, like, maybe you shouldn't. Because the balance is kind of what dictates how fun the game is. If you have perfect balance, then chances are the game isn't really that interesting. Obviously, that isn't entirely true all the time. You can have super interesting games that are really balanced. But generally speaking, developers sacrifice fun and kind of creativity and uniqueness in order to get that proper balance, which is a shame. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there is another fighting game, which is very different, called JoJo Eyes of Heaven, made by CyberConnect 2. And that game does not care about balance. It does not give a shit. And you can really tell, primarily because like characters are drastically different in power. Because in the actual JoJo show, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, characters are already drastically different in power. And usefulness and stuff like that. CyberConnect 2 knew that, and instead of making the game boring and balanced, they decided, you know what, let's just make it lore accurate. Let's just make it so some characters are just straight up broken. Let's do crazy things. And ultimately, honestly, I would say they create a lot more of an interesting game. Obviously, there's a balance to that. There's a balance in, like, being balanced and also still having lots and lots of cool, unique stuff. But those are two games which did drastically different things. And came up with drastically different results. And I would say I actually prefer the Eyes of Heaven route, where you just make everyone broken. Make everyone stupid. Make everything powerful. Make it, you know, go crazy. And that's why I really like Guilty Gear Strive as well. Because Guilty Gear Strive is every character in that game, every playable character, is annoying and slightly broken in some way. Like, they all do something really damn well to a point that, like, it's really annoying. But because every character can do something well and every character is annoying, it kind of balances itself out, you know? It's the Incredibles syndrome quote: if everyone is super, then no one is. So instead of being like, if everyone is normal, then no one's normal, it's if everyone is broken, no one is broken. Did I really reload like 3 bullets? Yeah, I much prefer that approach, personally. It makes a so much more interesting game. And how that ties into GTTOD is, I'm glad there's a massive discrepancy between weapons. I'm glad that some weapons are just universally more useful than others, like comparing the compact shotgun to, again, the Thunderlust. The two are at, like, drastically different tiers. But the compact shotgun's fun. It doesn't need the compact shotgun doesn't need to be really strong to just be fun. I'll use it because it's fun. And that's what a lot of the weapons in this game feel like, is like they're not particularly strong when you babe them. Wings for fingers. The best. Again, something like the sticky detonator or the silenced SMG is another one. Babe those weapons, yeah, they're kind of powerful, they're kind of strong, but at the same time they're drastically weaker than a majority of other babe weapons you can get. But that doesn't mean they're useless. They're still fun to play with, they're still fun to use. Just because the Thunderlust is really strong, or the Predator is really strong, or the Treachery or whatever, doesn't mean I always want to be using it. It's why the constant cries for like buffs and nerfs are a little bit, I wouldn't say annoying actually, not annoying, but kind of, okay, I guess maybe a little bit annoying. I know I do it as well, where I'm like, I hope explosives get buffed, but because I do. I think explosives in this game currently are in like a really dire state where they're, frankly speaking, not even useful. I don't think they're useful in like any capacity. I think they should at least do something. Or at least be fun. But even when bathed, most explosive weapons in this game are just... They're so weak, they're still just not even that fun. But you know, a lot of people, when something is really, really strong, usually they, people call to nerf it. They're like, hey, this thing needs to be nerfed. You should nerf this thing. It's too powerful. And I've never liked that kind of mentality. Or, I used to kind of be like that, a little bit. But, as of recent, I found out that I just don't like that mentality. Where, like, X is strong, therefore we should nerf it. And this also goes for fighting games as well, you know, talking about those and the balance of characters. We're still kind of on the topic of balance and stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of people will say, hey, this thing is strong, let's nerf it. And I kind of wish instead they would be like, hey, this thing is strong. Can we buff the stuff that isn't as strong? Can we bring other things up to that level? Can we make it as fun as that strong thing is? You know, kind of do the opposite. Instead of nerfing the strong thing, buff the weak things. Because then the strong thing won't be anywhere near as strong. Just by, you know, there being such a smaller gap between them. Obviously there are exceptions, you know, that some things you should probably nerf. Some things should probably be adjusted every now and then, but that's kind of up to the developers. But yeah, people generally just quickly dog on to nerf something as opposed to buff other things. They kind of see, hey, this person is having fun. Why can't we have fun? No, they're like, instead of seeing someone having fun with something that's powerful, they see, they think, you know. Actually, let me restart that. Let me restart that tangent. They see something that's strong, and instead of being like, hey, can we have stuff that's as strong and as fun as that as well? They're more likely to go, hey, that thing is strong and fun. Let's make, can you make it not as strong and fun anymore? Just like my stuff? They kind of don't want the, those people to have fun, in a sense. They want to remove a lot of the fun of that. Maybe not directly. Not saying they're directly stating that or whatever, but it's usually the end result. I know this has been like a pretty lengthy tangent about balance and stuff like that, but it's a topic. It's a good topic. It's a fun topic. Excuse me while I reload and readjust my chair. Thank you. It's like you see the door guy just pull out a, what are those things called? The just like a beach chair. Sit down for a minute during his time stop and just be like, I can chill. Ugh. Oh. Hey, we got the power weapon. You mean silenced pistol? It sucks. We're gonna babe it. I'm also gonna babe this this as well. Do we babe bad? Oh, we have bad medicine. Actually, all of our weapons are babe now. Stormrider. I think the Stormrider is really good. It's such a shame that it uses the same ammo as the Honestly, personally, if you ask me, I think maybe the Thunderlust should be a different ammo type. Something else. I don't like that all the assault rifles use the exact same ammo type, so you can only logically use one of them at a time. Well, you know, I think it'd be a lot funner if a few of them had quite a lot of different ammo types. Interesting. So the default direction you go when you just press dash without holding a direction is backwards. Is it? Yeah, it is. Interesting. Weird. I say weird because I wonder how that works. That had to have been set, right? I wonder if there's a particular reason that was set. You know, usually you set something like that for like to compensate for random situations. Like maybe there's a lot of situations in this game where the developer found they wanted to do a backdash, but they were always like mashing it or something, or they weren't pressing any button, but they were kind of mashing the dash button. You know what I mean? There's usually there's going to be some reason they set it like that. Either that or they were just like, you know what, fuck it, make the default that. I think that should also prove how strong the SMG is. Because, you know, I'd imagine when I say the SMG is one of the strongest weapons in the game, some people will probably look at me with some furrowed eyebrows and be like, really? The SMG? You know, we have guns like the Thunderlust, the Predator, the Treacher, and you're like, the SMG is great? Or is one of the best? I'm like, yeah, of course it is. It's insanely good. Hey, sniper rifle. Long time no see. How are you doing as your spot as the 5th best weapon in the game as opposed to the 1st? Yeet. Fine. Fine. I hear all the sniper rifle lads being like, just babe it, please. Just babe it. Maybe someday you'll see it's so good. Maybe. Maybe one day I'll see through the same eyes as you do. Yeah, I do think the Typhoon is probably top 3. It is exceedingly powerful for what it is. Like, it kills almost any enemy in like 1 to 2 shots, and it has some absolutely bonkers tracking. It has like Halo Needler style tracking. It is insane. I don't know why. Like, you can kind of just fire in like the general area of enemies and you'll kill everything. I do seriously think it's like top 3. Okay, so if you want my actual like best guns in the game tier list, and a lot of shit is falling over on my desk. Yeah, but if you want my best guns tier list, number 1 slot I think is the Thunderlust. I think the Thunderlust by far just kind of takes that slot, takes the cake. And then I would actually say, believe it or not, I would actually say the SMG. And then I would say the Predator as the 3rd slot. And the 4th slot is probably something like maybe the PDW, the Carbine maybe. And then number 5, probably the Treachery. Number 6, maybe the Pistol. And then it kind of just gets muddy from there, where it's just like, who cares? Worst weapon in the game? I mean, that's really easy. That's the Plasma Pistol. The Plasma Pistol struggles to kill a single enemy unbagged. When you babe it, it still struggles. It is, like, easily just dreadful. Awful. It's one of those guns that's actually so bad, I wouldn't even really consider it fun. At least the fun guns that are bad are kind of just fun because they're slightly strong. God, who decided to give this thing tracking? That looked crazy. This coupled with it having the Typhoon as well. God, it's insane. I think this is maybe the strongest one we've had, minus time. You know, because I think this one, if we ended up actually going the mile, you know, going all the way to threat level like 60, 70, I think this is the best run we've had. Right now, it's not. It's not the most powerful. But given the natural progression, I think it's... I guess a more accurate way to say it is, I think we are more powerful now than we were at the same point on our last most powerful run. Around threat level 46. So logically speaking, once we get to the threat level 70 or so, this will be stronger. I don't know why I'm really trying to trying to nail in what I mean with that. It's not like it's necessary. You know what I mean anyway. I know. My method of explaining something is good for text. Actually, is it good for text? Maybe. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I have a very particular way of discussing and ranting and stuff, where what I like to do is I like to make a point, and then... Oh, I'm actually on blue mode on this. I should get off of blue mode. Yeah, I like to make a point, and then I spend the next like 30 minutes, or however long I'm ranting, reiterating it. So to a point where I'm happy, you know? I'll keep making the same point over and over again until it sounds about as accurate as it can. So that's kind of my discussion style. I like to just reiterate, nail it in on a specific point, so I can be as precise as possible. It's kind of good for when you're talking, because when you're talking and you're trying to do a stream and stuff like that, it means you can just kind of keep going. You can just keep talking again and again and again, and you'll always have something to talk about. But that also generally means that I end up saying the same thing like 4 or 5 times. Even though I'm putting it under a new context, the more I discuss it, I usually just end up saying the same thing. And I'm sure you're noticing it as well during this specific tangent as well. And I also don't mean just like repeating the same words. Because I know I just did that as well. It's also good to cap it off, you know, like as a footnote. Where I'll usually talk about a discussion, and then I'll summarize it at the very end by saying, and that's what I think about it. You know? I'll tell you my point again. Just after I've explained it now. I hope that's interesting. I hope you're at least moderately interested. I'd imagine if you're not, you probably clicked off by now anyway. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes? 10 minutes? 12. 13. So I'd imagine if you're still watching at this point, you're probably interested. Okay, so I said something in one of my last streams, and I said what stream was it? Basically, in one of my last solo streams, I think it must have been GTTOD. I said, man, I forgot something. You know, I'm putting up a grocery shopping list, or I'm getting groceries delivered tomorrow, and I wanted to edit something into the list. And I completely forgot what it was I wanted. I have been feeling the aftershocks of me forgetting. Because what I forgot was actually tomato sauce. I forgot to buy or add tomato sauce to my grocery delivery. And I'm a pretty avid tomato sauce eater. Or I guess, yeah, eating is the right term for that. It's not drinking. Ew. Gross. But I use tomato sauce on a lot of the stuff I eat. A lot of sandwiches, a lot of, you know, obviously chips. I like it with like battered fish and stuff like that. Burgers, etc. And so multiple times now, basically every single meal I've made, almost every single meal I've made, since I forgot to add tomato sauce, has been tomato sauceless. And it's really annoying. Really, really annoying. Because, like, sometimes I'll go halfway through making a meal and then I'll be like, fuck, I forgot. I don't have tomato sauce. I can't just... Like, what am I going to do? I mean, I may as well finish making the meal. But I'm not going to like it anywhere near as much. Yeah, that's, if you're wondering, I don't know why you would, wonder this specific thing. I think it was another GTTOD stream I said this in as well, or I said that I forgot to add something. But it was tomato sauce. I know I'm sad because I don't have tomato sauce. And I can't eat my meals. How am I supposed to have chips without tomato sauce? Horrible. Ew. I do want to try other condiments. I feel like I would like other condiments, but I don't. I don't like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is kind of just disgusting to me. I don't like ranch, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I don't like sour cream. Barbecue sauce, I don't really like either. I'm not really like a barbecue saucy person. Ish. But yeah, tomato sauce is the only sauce where I'm like, I kind of really just, I need that with a lot of my meals. And I hope there are other sauces eventually I'll find that I like, that I could put on other things, I could substitute with. Because it does get pretty boring having tomato sauce and everything. Sometimes. Like, you know what? If you're watching the VOD, tell me what sauces do you like? Anything odd, interesting? Anything kind of different from the normal? You know, mayonnaise, sour cream, tomato ketchup. Maybe some recommendations. Actually, you know something I'm actually not really that big of a fan of? And it's kind of also the reason I'm not the biggest fan of barbecue sauce either. Even though the two aren't really connected, but you'll know what I mean, hopefully. I don't really like smoked things. I'm really not a fan of... Well, I mean, I'll eat it. I'm fine with smoked food. But man, I don't know. I am not a lover of smoked food. Like smoked bacon, smoked fish, smoked gammon. Anything that you would normally smoke, I would honestly rather have it unsmoked. 90% of the time. Because smoking something just... It makes it taste all identical. And I know this is like another... Like, digging my grave moment, where I was previously stating, like, if you thought that what's it called? Coca-Cola and Pepsi taste the same, you're crazy. Now I'm like, every smoked product tastes identical. But to me it does. To me, it maybe not identical, but I don't like the smoke taste. And the fact that that's the most dominant taste on anything that you would smoke, it's kind of just, ugh. I'd rather just have it unsmoked. Unsmoked bacon, unsmoked gammon. Just makes it taste too samey. From, compared to without. Any other interesting food topics to think about? Not really, I suppose. Nothing really that interesting. Could move on from food somehow. Oh, I am starting an H3VR recorded series soon. Kind of similar to the 12 Days of Meatmas. If you haven't seen the 12 Days of Meatmas, I would recommend it. I would definitely give it a recommendation. It was a, if you don't know, it was a series I did in my channel around Christmas time last year, where for 12 days I uploaded a Take and Hold run. And Take and Hold is a game mode in H3VR, a gun simulator VR game. And that series was really good, I thought. I thought like I did really well with that. So I'm going to be doing something similar to that fairly soon-ish, maybe in the next week or so. called, and I finally nailed down a name for it. And it's not a particularly original name. It's not a particularly good name, but I've kind of just settled on it, and I'll probably keep it like that. But it's going to be called Take It, Hold It, Mod It. And obviously it's a play on the game mode called Take and Hold, but also modded versions of it. That's one thing I haven't really dabbled with in a lot, but people have kind of told me to dabble in. People like watching me stream H2VR, but a lot of times they'll tell me, hey, have you tried mods? Hey, have you done mods? Play with mods yet? You know, maybe you should try some modded maps at some point. And I'm like, I will, but So I figured the best place to do that would probably be in a recorded series. Make an actual series out of it, out of modding the game. So yeah, I'll be starting that at some point in the next week or so. I had art commissioned for it as well. Not specifically for it, it was just kind of, you know, I asked the artist, hey, can you draw my character in this pose? And then after they were finished with it, it's a really damn good drawing, by the way. It's a really excellent. I love it. It's such great art. I'll be linking them in the description of every Take It, Hold It, Mod It episode. But yeah, after they were done, I asked, hey, can I use it in thumbnail of my some of my videos and put it around my Twitch, maybe? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I was like, sure, okay, nice. So it'll also have very different thumbnails from what I usually have. I've already designed the thumbnail. It looks very different. So it'll stand out, but it'll still look like a Waddicker thumbnail. It'll still have the red. It'll still have the Oni symbol. Ish. I mean, it won't have exactly the Oni symbol. It'll have the Oni guy on it. The Oni person. Susan. Time is it? I think we might cut this one a bit short. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe. Also, if you like the stuff I'm making, and you like what the videos I put out, and I know you've heard it like a million times from other YouTubers, but there is a reason they say it. I really wouldn't mind if you shared the stuff around. For like 3 years now, I've been stuck at like 900 subscribers on my VOD channel. Or like it's not really the VOD channel anymore. It's more just the general channel I upload my stuff to. But I've been stuck at 900 subscribers for 3 years now. Videos get basically no views, and they never get found. They never get seen. Kind of just sit there. So, you know, if you like the stuff I put out, I would really actually genuinely appreciate it if you know, told some people about it. You showed it to some other people. You say, hey, look at this. This is kind of neat YouTuber. They do interesting stuff, I guess, maybe. I hope. I hope I do interesting stuff, God. It would be very scary if I didn't. It's just that my stuff generally isn't very, it's not very YouTubeable. It's not very... doesn't really appeal to the algorithm a lot, you know? YouTube doesn't really like 2-hour-long videos, because, you know, if someone watches that video for 10 minutes, that's counted as a failed video on if your video lasts 2 hours or so. You know what I mean? It's percentage based. You know, if you watch a 10-minute video for 9 minutes, that's 90%. Damn, that's a good video. If you watch a live stream or a 2-hour-long video for 10 minutes, that's a shit stream. Or so that's a shit video. You only watch it for 5%. Or not 5%. Yeah, but you only wash it for like a little amount? Sigh. So YouTube does my stuff isn't basically TLDR again. My stuff isn't very algorithmically appealing to YouTube, so it just never gets suggested to people. And I'm not gonna go around like self-advertising and posting in Reddits and stuff like that. I've tried it before, and people just don't really like that type of promotion. Even though I think self-promotion really isn't that bad of a thing. Wanting the stuff you make to be seen, as in literally just seen, it's not a bad thing to want. I don't know why people have such an adverse reaction to someone expressing a desire for that. And it's not just me I'm talking about. I've seen it across, like, several circles where it's like, oh, you self-promote your scum or whatever. So, if you do like the stuff I put out, just sharing it around, telling people about it would very much assist, very much help. Would very much appreciate it. I appreciate, like, anytime someone engages with the stuff I make. I always try to reply to every comment and stuff like that. I always interact with chat whenever I can. Oh, I just fucking... I did get the grappling hook off, but it was a bit too late. This is also why I'm going to be partially doing recorded series as well. Because it's going to be shorter form. It's going to be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes-ish. So, if people actually do like watching that series, or those recorded HTTR series, then that will also kind of work in tandem with the YouTube algorithm. People are going to be watching more of that video per percent, and it's going to get recommended more, and, you know, it'll get seen more. Get a bit more traction than usual. It's not the only reason. It's not the only reason I'm doing that series, though. I'm doing it because I want to, because I think it's fun. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it was fun already. And like I said, I've been stuck at the same kind of metrics for 3 years. I've been doing this this live streaming thing for maybe 10 years. I've been doing Waddicker for 10 years. I've been doing Waddicker for 4 years-ish. 4 or 5 years. But I've been live streaming a hell of a lot longer than that. And I just find it really fun. A part of the reason I'm so just not algorithmically blessed by YouTube is also because I don't really play the same thing a lot of the time. And when I do play the same thing a lot of the time, it's something that YouTube doesn't give a shit about. Again, for example, like I'll do 40 streams of Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter World, or Guilty Gear Strive. I'll do 40 streams of that, but no one cares. No one watches it. Which is fine. But, you know, me doing 40 streams of Guilty Gear Strive and basically nothing else kinda makes the algorithm take a big, massive dookie. Like, doing that genuinely actually makes the algorithm kind of ignore you. You don't get, it's not like you just don't get promoted. No, it actively ignores you. It's like this, like, the algorithm thinks you're producing shit content. Producing garbage, like, videos that no one should see. It's very harsh. Very, very harsh. That's also why I don't live stream on YouTube. So if you don't know about YouTube live streaming and why not a lot of people do it nowadays, or some people still do it, but usually you only see people live streaming on YouTube if they already have a an audience. Like, for example, Neocranium, PewDiePie, a few other YouTubers here and there. But basically, they only live stream on YouTube when they already have an audience there on YouTube. If they don't have an audience there on YouTube, they usually live stream on Twitch instead. And the reason for that is, again, like, big surprise, the algorithm. YouTube counts a live stream almost exclusively as a failed video. It's really harsh. Because again, like I said, it's a mix between the long length, or the longer length, and the viewer retention, and just stuff like that. Meanwhile, Twitch doesn't. Twitch just kind of doesn't do anything. With Twitch, it's the Wild Wild West. With YouTube, it's just a dystopia. That's why I live stream on Twitch. I did used to live stream on YouTube, but then, you know, oops, algorithm happened. Okay, I'm sure I'm boring you now with all this algorithm talk. Sorry, my bad. I think it's interesting though. I mean, me personally. I think it's an interesting topic, and I also kind of just... I like figuring out more stuff, like learning about stuff. And I also like giving information out as well. So I like taking what I've learned, all the stuff I've seen, even on like really kind of slightly boring topics like the YouTube algorithm. Like, what a snore fest. But you know, I like taking everything I've kind of learned about that, everything I've seen, kind of just distributing it more. Become an information sponge, and then just squeeze it all back out again. Not to mention, it's also kind of hard to come up with a lot of topics anyway when you're streaming. It's really hard to kind of figure out what it is you want to talk about, even after 10 years of doing this. Because, to be frank, without being mean to myself, I don't really have that interesting of a life. In terms of, and I don't mean that in like oh, boo-hoo, look at me way. I mean, like, I just don't do anything. Like, I don't go out that much. The most I'll go out for is like to go to a restaurant or something once or twice a week, etc. But you know, I don't really have a lot of in real life friends. Most of them have moved away now, so I can only really interact with them online anyway. So I don't really have a lot of reason to just leave and do stuff. So you're never gonna hear like wacky party stories from me. Like, oh, at a party, oh shit, did I not activate the thing? Yeah, you're never gonna hear like, oh, I was at a party once and I fucking drank a bunch of alcohol and shot my pants and it was really, oh, we have everything. Oh. Would you look at that? We got a 1-run. Yeah, you'll never hear like, oh, I was with my friends once and I did XXX a lot of the time. I mean, you will hear it every now and then. I do have a lot of good memories of stuff like that. A lot of stuff from school. But yeah, a lot of streamers, they have the benefit of living, like Northernline, for example. He's in like his 30s-ish. Lives a really kind of big life. I just can't compete. I don't have that amount of information. Actually, the information that Northern Lion has in general stored in his brain, stored in that cortex of his, is insane. If you haven't watched Northern Lion, I suggest giving it a go. I really like Northern Lion. He comes off as like a dude bro. He kind of comes off as a dude bro when you first watch him. Or at least nowadays, if you started watching him now. But he's doing like the ironic dude bro, you know? Making fun of it. Yeah, I really like watching Northern Lion. He'll suddenly come out of nowhere with like several references from the 1980s and like full casting lists of movies that he hasn't seen in like 20 years. I think that's insane. I barely remember the cast of half the movies I watch. Or like one character from it, one actor. But he'll just come out of nowhere and be like, oh yeah, the movie Mad Max with Charlize Theron in it, and make some sort of joke about it, some sort of quip. And I'm like, how did your cortex do that? How does the gray matter connect those dots? It's crazy. Or he'll come up with some really, really bizarre reference all of a sudden. I suggest giving him a shot. Giving him a watch. Might take like a video or two to get used to, but he's very good. He also never stops talking. That's like the most crazy thing. He has like 2 bajillion episodes of The Binding of Isaac on his channel, where he talks about different things in every single one of those episodes, and he just never stops talking. He always has something to talk about. Which even I find hard to read sometimes. Who knows, maybe in like 5 years I'll have a lot more of an interesting life to communicate to on stream. You never know. This could always be the origin story. I'm drifting sometimes. Like that. I drifted there. Trying to see what causes it. Okay, whatever. Oh, hey, I saw rifle. You couldn't stay one stream without appearing, could you? A single stream without the predator. Nah. Apparently not. Apparently we've got to have the predator in every single stream. Well, you happy? You've made your cameo appearance. No, I'm not gonna use you. In fact, I'm gonna dump you off the ground. Like, I know what to do. There you go. Gone. Out of my inventory. Gone for good. Okay. What is that? Hang on. I know I'm gonna get caught by... Yeah, I was gonna get caught by the auto thing. But I saw something down there and I was like, oh, I'm kind of curious. Can I grab onto this? No, it's not even collidable geometry. Shame. Yeah, I think we'll call it here. We'll call the run here. It's a 1 run anyway. And what weapon do I put on the thumbnail? Oh no. I would say maybe the compact shoddy, but like it doesn't look like anything. Treachery is a contender. AGL is a contender, actually. Yeah, AGL maybe, probably. Not that we used it all that much. Ooh, but Silence SMG looks quite nice. Alright. We shall end the run there. It was a good run. Any run where we get every single perk, I consider that like the end game. That's us won. You know? But I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.